So it's Catherine Moffett, Kathryn Moffett. I'm MD, and I'm a pediatric infectious disease specialist.
Okay. Let's talk about this scare that's going on here. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we have this new coronavirus known as COVID-19, and it's a virus. It's a respiratory virus, just like flu, the colds. There are many other respiratory viruses, not airborne. These are transmitted really through our hands by droplets. Somebody sneezes very, very close to you, or a cough or sneezes in your face, or maybe sneezes on a surface. You touch the surface and you touch your mouth, your eyes, your hands. That's how we get them. They're not floating in the air. And really, someone close by to you, if they're coughing in the other direction, we're safe. We just don't want someone coughing right on us. But it's really then the droplets of the virus that then come to us. And it's human to human. So someone is sick and then they transmit it, or maybe not so sick, but they're contagious and they transmit it to us.
Are there cures for it?
There's no treatment. Right now, our immune system is what helps us with all viral infections, and most of us are fine, and we may be sick for a few days, mildly, or maybe a little longer and have fever. And then a small number of people get pneumonia, and then the very frail elderly, the immunosuppressed, we know have trouble with this. And those are the ones we've been hearing about who have been hospitalized, and those are the ones who've been dying. But the majority of people are recovering very well, very easily, and there's no antiviral treatment, and there also right now is no vaccine.
Is that something that the medical community is going to come up with soon?
Well, soon, maybe in 12 to 18 months. That sounds like a long period of time, but for medical advances, that's probably will be pretty good, that we will probably eventually have a vaccine, but right now we don't. Now, we have other coronaviruses that circulate that are not related. They're different than COVID-19. There are 4 that typically circulate every winter and every year, and most of us have had at least one or maybe all of them. They're the ones that cause colds, upper respiratory tract infections. But they're different because those coronaviruses usually don't cause pneumonia. And what's different about COVID is that we know that for some, not very many, but for some people, it doesn't just stay up here, but can cause pneumonia.
Okay, let's talk about the threat to West Virginia. Where are we at right now? And
we have tested a few people in Morgantown who have traveled, and no one has tested positive. So we have no cases in West Virginia in the entire state. And we have a task force here at WVU, and we are looking. We are ready in many ways, but also with screening. So we've set up a website. We've set up a phone number to call. The best thing to do is to not just show up in a ER or urgent care or doctor's office and say, well, I traveled to a high-risk area, I think I have COVID-19. Call first. So we're prepared and we can meet you at the door, and then we can protect you and us and then get the proper testing. But we've had no cases in West Virginia.
Well, let's talk about the testing. What exactly is involved in the testing? I heard somewhere that they're running out of tests, and you know how social media goes.
Well, so pretty amazing. It's a PCR test looking for the virus. So the PCR is how we detect many viruses, because they don't grow really well. They don't grow in culture, but we can find actually their RNA fingerprint. So we do swabs of the nose and throat and look for actually the virus. So right now in West Virginia, we collect the swabs, we send them to the health department, to the state, and they go to the CDC. And soon we'll be getting the testing here, so then we don't have to send the specimens away, and we'll do the testing in our lab. We do many other PCR tests in our lab, so we're ready and equipped to do PCR, but it's a very specific test because this is a new virus, and pretty amazing. We already have the test, we already sequenced the virus, we know what exactly what the virus is, and now we have a test we can detect it. So hand washing is really important. Washing your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Get in between your hands, and it's the lubrication and the water that gets the virus off of your hands. Or use hand sanitizer, and you need a good bit on there, and get your hands wet and then air dry. Doesn't have to be for 20 seconds, but you need to make sure the surfaces were wet. A little bit is not enough. Hand washing, if you're sick, stay home. if sick people, let's stay away from sick people. And then the really frail and elderly are at risk for COVID-19, but also for flu and all the other viral stuff. So don't go visit in the nursing home if you're sick, you have a scratchy throat. Maybe wait until you're better, but be practical. And the last thing I'll say is don't panic. Don't panic at all. We're prepared, but we are learning. This is fluid. We're learning as we go, but also understand that we have very limited numbers of cases in the United States compared to flu, and I'm not worried.